What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? Welcome to No Blankets Podcast, where we engage in the raw, unfiltered discussions that leave no topic covered up. We are rocking season 1, episode 9, entitled "Leadership Accountability: Living Post Dewey." The Q&A, and yes, it's your girl and your host C West. You know what to do. Do your girl a favor. Scroll on down and migrate to old YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button to let you guys know that when we go live, so you don't miss any exciting episodes. This is the time that I give to my sponsors. So shout out to my little sis T Money of T Money Beats. She's the ones and twos. If you need that good dope lyrics, made up, holler at her. She's the one. Shout out to my girl Ely of Chandler and Company. They call her the Hat Lady, y'all. She keeps us fly with those fedora hats for men and women. Shout out to the hardest working man in the industry, Ronnie Cobb. He is the host of Cut to the Chase. Shout out to my boys at the barber shop. Shout out to my boy Lance, the PI. You know, he's the one, the process server and then private investigator. So you already know. If you want to catch your boy coming out to telly, holla at your boy. And shout out to my boy Bishop, my man, 100 grand. He's the one that's responsible for all of the artwork and the web design, to make this a little bit more professional and have it pop. So shout out to you, Dr. Davis. All my sponsors' information is, again, will be located along with our host to be able to reach out, contact any of these sponsors that you need help with. Also, shout out to the late but never forgotten, the Bishop Sherwood Carthen, who said, and I quote, "Don't ever stop following a true legend, but make sure you identify with what one is." I take that to heart, Bishop. Miss you dearly. This platform is a space to highlight the importance of disseminating information that keeps viewers informed and engaged in conversations that will provide clarity surrounding each topic we cover. Tonight, we're going to close this discussion with possible solutions to answers that many of our viewers had for our guest on the very complex topic of dementia, and in her case, Lewy body dementia. I've read that 6 million plus Americans suffering with dementia, changes in memory and brain function, go beyond what is considered normal age-related cognitive decline. And for some, having the diagnosis of dementia, they have to have significant decline in more than one area. And those changes have to affect their daily living. The number one risk factor for dementia is age, women, and people of color. But here to answer some of our questions is our guest, and to share her journey of healing. Ladies and gentlemen, back again, my sis, Carla Prayer. Sister, thank you so much for coming back and blessing us tonight. Again, there was a great response from our last podcast about this particular topic. So even if we don't have live viewers, I want to give the opportunity to if you're out there, you're listening, and you have any questions for Carla, I'm going to be in the comment section answering, getting some questions for Carla so that she could answer any of your questions out there that you might have concerning dementia or her journey about dementia. How you doing tonight, Carla?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you tonight?
Oh, girl, we are getting over this little cold that we have. I mean, it got me first and then it got you, but thank God we are on this side of the dirt. Amen.
Oh, now that's it.
you know and again, Carla, there was so many people to reach out about this topic, dementia, and it just seems to be affecting our people left and right and left. And so I again wanted to give you the opportunity to come and share with us some of the things that and tools that you use to get over this and are getting with it. And my first question, I guess, Carly, is did you ever feel like giving up? I think that was one of the questions that a young man had. Um, did you ever feel like giving up?
Giving up. I'm not sure that's the word that I would use. Um, did I have some meltdowns? Most definitely. And I'm not sure if I shared that in the last podcast, but I got so many compliments. Wow, Carla, you're doing it so well. You're making this look easy. And that bothered me because I felt like I'm showtiming, which is a term that dementia patients will do when you have guests coming over. A lot of caregivers were accused of lying on their loved ones because when the company was coming over, the patient would showtime and act like they got it all together. They're able to level up at a point to where they get it all together. They answer all the questions. They talk normally, but as soon as that person leaves the house, they collapse into the real illness. So that leaves the patient, the a caregiver, looking like she has been lying on the loved one. Well,
Right,
when someone said, "Carla, you make this look easy. You're doing
right.
so well," I was showtiming. I was showtiming big
Mm.
time. I can remember a few times, I had really had bad meltdowns. And why? That's when I
Let's talk
realized
about that why. Let's talk
why.
about the why.
I waited too late to seek help. I waited too late to seek help. So what it was just totally, I had let things build up. I can do it myself. And I'm a person that's hard for me to ask for help. And we as African American women, we got that bad. I think women, period. When if we're in that, I'm an entrepreneur. I had my own business. I
Hmm.
did everything on my own home. Before I got married, and then with that, I did not lose who I was.
Hmm.
So now here I am, um, having trouble to ask for help, and this journey, and I thought I didn't need help.
Hmm.
But yet, uh, I did. I really needed help. One of the ladies in my support group, we're in a documentary, Facing the Wind, and it's about the journey. And one of the girls, they were filming one of our moments on Zoom, and one of the girls, she felt so bad because she had snapped at her husband. She asked, "Carla, you always look like you never have a worry in the world." Well, Patrick had it bad. He had Lewy body, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. So
Mm.
he had all aspects, and he never. We called him the Lewy body. I mean, the ever ready bunny.
Mm.
He was always on the go. And this one particular day, it was a situation that I needed to get him in the shower, and he
Hmm.
was just talking and talking and wouldn't get through it, and I was exhausted because I didn't get enough sleep. That was the day I also had to make myself start sleeping in the office and not in there because he'll get up in the middle of the night. So this particular day, he set me off, and I literally start jumping up and down, screaming like a complete mad woman. Not proud of this, but as I was talking to my sister that's a pastor of a church, she said, "You have to leave that in the documentary." But I was like, "Shut up." And I'm crying. I'm bawling, crying because I was at my wit's end. I'm jumping.
Mm.
"Shut up. Just shut the hell up. Shut up." And I'm crying. And then it hit me. I was like, "Sweetie, your husband's sick. He can't help it." So I just caught
Mm.
myself and I left out of the room, went in the office and just sat there. And I got a good cry out for a good 5 minutes.
Mm.
And then I went back in there, and I felt like crap. I just felt like crap. I said,
Yeah.
"Baby, I am so sorry for screaming at you. I am so sorry." And Patrick came back in that moment, and he just grabbed me by my neck like he always do, the way he would hug me. He said, "Oh, girl, don't worry about that. I know you didn't mean that." And it made me
Mm.
cry even more because that was
Sure.
who Patrick was there for a minute. So I never wanted to give up. I was going to say I did give up in a sense when I decided to put him in the facility, but I wasn't giving up because I was there almost every moment.
Right.
I came home to shower and came right back, Um, but never just did I thought. I can remember a time, and it was well meaning. My nephew asked me early on because he's in the medical field. He knew what was coming down the pipes. I didn't. Patrick knew what was coming down the pipes because they both were in medical field. And he
Mm-hmm.
asked me, "Have you thought about putting him in a facility?" And I was livid that he would ask me
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as time went by, I understood, and I had to apologize to my nephew. I was like, "You knew what was coming. I didn't. Thank you for just even putting that in my mind that eventually I would have to come." And he was in the facility for 2 days, for 10 days.
Right.
But giving up, not totally giving up. I just had to I had not to, couldn't think about the facility as giving up. It's just a transfer of, of the situation so I could continue to be his wife and
Mm-hmm.
allow someone else to be his caregiver.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's deep. That's deep. That's powerful. Which segues into my next question. How did you cope in moments of overwhelming pain and exhaustion? What tools did you use? What were the things that you used in those situations? I know you're a woman of prayer, a woman of faith. How did that play a part um, in those times of just overwhelming sorrow? The this is where you are with this. This is a reality. This is actually happening in your life unexpectedly.
Cheryl,
Hi, Choice.
uh,
Yeah, he decided he wanted to get on
you
camera.
want to be in
I
the
am
show.
not interviewing you. Anyway, big ham. Trying to steal the show.
Right, right, as he always does.
Right.
Um, you know, the pain can be really heart wrenching. Um, During that time, what I did every day, while caring for him, I exercised myself. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I woke him up, I would have him to exercise with me. I did yoga. I ate healthy. I cut back, my meat eating, drank plenty of water, prayed. And then once I realized, okay, look, you need to get help. Don't wait like I did.
Mm.
Understand also, I would strongly suggest understand what you have available to you. So I always Del Oro Caregiving Service Center, amazing company. They really helped me out with. Set me up with a therapist for me and
Mm-hmm.
a caregiver for him.
So what you did was you had a great diet.
Oh yeah.
You had a prayer life.
Hmm.
You meditated. And this is, I think, what is very important is that you had a support group. So if
Hmm.
anybody is out there experiencing dementia, experiencing um, the stages of dementia or going through uh, Lewy body dementia or any of the dementias that have been mentioned on the broadcast. So
Hmm.
she's saying that she, again, for some that are agnostic or you don't have a religion but you believe, so it was higher power, but for God, she sought her Lord and Savior. She got into a quiet place. She managed and put things in her body that gave her energy, sustainable energy.
Hmm.
She exercised, and again, she found herself a support group. I think that's awesome, Carla. In the midst of that exhaustion, these questions came, and so this is from Thomas, and he said, in the stages where Patrick experienced hallucinations or loss of memory. What safety measures did you begin to take? Help. My mom is trying to escape.
Mm. So is she trying to? It's a couple different. Is she trying to escape because of the hallucinations, or is she trying to escape because she feels closed in, or is she trying to escape because she feels like you're trying to control her?
Mm-hmm.
That's three different scenarios, and you have to in this journey, you have to be able to go whatever that hallucination or that Alzheimer wind take you. So if it's a hallucination, you step into that hallucination with them. If they said, "Baby, that purple cow is chasing me all over the house," I thought that's what I saw. And you get into that story. And yeah, I did lead them out the back door and they're not coming back. I got rid of him. You step into the hallucination, kind of like, the truck on the fence that I told last episode.
But he set you straight though, talking about you.
Yeah, he set me straight.
You talking to the dog now. Which one of us is really crazy? Listen, that was just so endearing. My so I follow this lady who's taking this granddaughter's taking care of her grandmother on TikTok. She has dementia, right? And
Mhm.
she told her granddaughter she could not lay in the bed because they were in there trying to lay with me. And she said she was married. And so she had to go in there and call the people, come on, y'all can't stay in here with my grandmother. Y'all got to leave. And
Exactly.
actually opened up the door. So that's very parallel to what you're talking about tonight.
Oh yeah.
So when it Thomas, she suggests that um, you step into the hallucination or whatever the theme of the hallucination is, and just kind of give that person that security. Am I saying that right, Carla?
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh. And he says, okay, so did Patrick ever try to leave at any time? Did he just walk out the door, start walking down the street? You know how you have some cases where there's Amber Alerts now for people with dementia or people who are taking care of people with dementia. They can give an Amber Alert. Did that ever happen in your circumstance, caring for
I
Patrick?
never had to call any authorities, but what I did do, I did go to the police station and then put my address on file that a
Mm-hmm.
dementia patient lives here with his picture, and it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the Amber Alert, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I did that. That was one of the things. The other thing I did, I had a tracking device on him. So by the time Patrick got to the place where he would lose his phone, I started putting the tracking device. I got a little bitty one. It's called the Gibbet, and it's about that small.
Mm-hmm.
And what I
Mm-hmm.
did, I would pin it under his pants pocket so he couldn't see it, because if he did, he would have ripped it off. I pinned
Mm-hmm.
it up under there so whenever he took off, and he was still, for the longest, he was able to still walk on his own.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to track on my phone to watch where he was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One day he went to the daycare facility and he did get out. And they didn't call me for like 30 minutes.
Mm.
And so when she called, she was like, Miss Prayer, we just wanted to call. And she was stuttering. I said, okay, come on, spit it out. What's going
Right.
on? Um,
Right.
Patrick's not here. I said, well, where is he? And I stayed calm. I said, well, where is he? Well, when the bus driver left and somebody else left, he walked out the door with him. And we don't know. We thought he went to the bus and he just walked off. He ended up going on into a bike trail through some where homeless people are. And they was able to ask. They said, yeah, he went that way. And so when they're telling me this, I said, hold on one second. Now I'm in line at the grocery store. I said, hold on. And I stayed calm. I looked at my phone. I said, oh, there he is. Okay. I said, well, the blessing is I have a tracking device on him. They never knew it.
Mm.
And so I was able to get to them. And because somebody had called the fire department because it was real hot that day.
Mm-hmm.
So Alzheimer's medicine should not be in prolonged heat.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have
Mm-hmm.
had a stroke that day. So I was able to get there. The fire department was there talking to him, and he was like, what's your name? He was able to say his name. And then when I walked up and the fire department was like, who are you? I
Mm-hmm.
said, and I pointed to him. And Patrick turned around and looked and said, hey. He said, you know this lady? Yeah, I know her. I said, that's my husband. He's like, yeah, because he couldn't get wipe out because his words were diminished.
Sure.
So tracking device, that's very important. I can't stress that. I mean, if they're still at the point where they're carrying the phone, just put the GPS on the phone. But there's going to come a time they will not think about their phone. So they have
Could you
tracking device for shoes. They have
give him the name of that
I believe it's Gibbet, but I'll definitely give it to you and
Gibbet?
put it in the notes.
I'll
Gibbet.
definitely have that up for you guys, for anyone that might need that information of a tracking device for not just specifically for dementia patients. You know, you might want to put that on your ex. I mean your baby daddy. Okay.
Girl, if you need to put it on the baby daddy, you don't need him. Let him go. Let him go.
Where you going? I'm going to 7-Eleven, baby. I'll be right back. Yeah, okay. Be there. Yeah, you went to the 7-Eleven, you went to the 4-11 and the 9-11.
And that's what you're gonna need is 911.
And listen, okay? I'm gonna call 999 right now. Oh, it's good to hear you laugh, Carla. It's good to hear you laugh. Oh, Karen wants to know. Karaj. Ooh. See what happens when they start naming their baby? Okay. We'll call her KK. KK wants to know, do you think having photos of you and Patrick around the house helped him to stay grounded?
It definitely helped when he remembered who I was. A lot of times, because I have a whole picture wall of pictures of nothing but me and him. And the one big picture, he thought the picture was his brother because they did look alike. And so I'll be like, one time I said, I'm your wife. And the first time he looked at me, he said, I don't remember. I said, that's okay. That's why God put me with you. Well, he had a high reverence of God. So whenever I would mention God, God knows what he's doing by putting me. So when I would say, God put me with you because he knew I can handle this journey.
Right.
I'm sorry. But another time I told him I was his wife and he said, no, you're not. So I would take him to the picture wall and he'd look, that's John. No, that's you. Look. I said, and that's me. And he would look at it and look at me and I said, Patrick, really? You always talked about I had a whole lot of teeth. And I would smile. And he'd see the teeth and look at the picture like, yeah, that's her. He was able to put those two together.
Sure.
But there were times he couldn't put it together. I did also, in the early stages, I did a video of he and I we never sat on the couch. For some reason, we sat in this oversized chair together all the time. So I whipped out my phone and I just did a selfie, a video of me and him. I was like, what is your name? And he said, Patrick. Right. I said, well, what is my name? Oh, I know your name. I said, you do? I said, my name is Carla Prayer. I said, why is my name Prayer? And he said, you're my mother? No, your mother wouldn't be snuggling with you like this. And we got a good laugh out of it. He was trying to say his wife, but the words get tangled up.
Sure.
And so, but I did that. So later on, if I needed to, I would show him the video to say who I was. So that would bring, but I never did get a chance to use it. Okay. Or I didn't think to use it. I don't know, but that is a good tool.
So, yeah. Okay. So you say having the photos of you and Patrick around the house kind of jarred his memory from time to time.
Yes.
Okay. I
don't know if you remember at Patrick's celebration when Bishop Parnell talked about he was trying to get out and walk in here, and he came back around and he pointed at our picture, or was our wedding, our engagement picture. He pointed and just started smiling whenever he saw my pictures. So he was able. There were times he was able to pull it in.
That's dope. Leslie wanted to know, did you begin to journal your journey?
Yes, I did. I wish I would have done. I can't.
And at what stage? Sorry about that.
I've always kind of journaled, but hit and miss. The things that were important, that were significant, the whole journey is significant, but that I thought I would get to it. And the key to that is you don't always have to go to a paper journal. If you
Mm.
got your phone, go to voice. That's quicker and easier.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then transfer it if you need to.
Well, I got to ask this next question. Is there a book in the making, or is there a book inside of you? What are you going to do with the
Yeah.
journal?
Well, thank God I did do it enough to journal. I am doing it, but I have several uh, under my sleeve that I want to do from different directions. Don't want to speak on it too much,
Sure.
but a couple of book two is just our life story within itself because, like I said, I think I might have mentioned also that I know that I was chosen for this journey. And
Mm.
there was things that happened to me at 5 years old, happened 5 days before I got married. And there was a lot of little touchstones throughout my life. So when I met Patrick, it was like a spiritual connected. I knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Within 2 weeks, I knew. I didn't speak on it. I knew. And he said within a day or two, he knew who I was, but he didn't tell me that at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of touchstones where um, that help my strength because I knew God called me for this journey. And when you read the book, there are no coincidences. It's crazy. I have girlfriends that pulled memory out of me of what led up to me meeting him. A
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend had a dream about him in almost detail, and none of
Mm.
us had ever met him before. And it was things in her dream, literally, that only me, Patrick, and God knew about.
See, you can't mess with divine intervention.
No.
You cannot mess with divine intervention.
Mm-mm.
And I guess my next question is already answered. What was your balance or your anchor? I know.
God. I
Say his
mean,
name, girl. Say
God. I mean, Jesus carried me through when I say
Yeah.
carried and different messages that I got. Even and I am a dreamer. I get messages in my dreams
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
let me know that he's not gonna let me fall. Literally. And when I woke up crying my eyes out,
Sure.
it was right when he was holding me up under my arms, saying, I'm not gonna let you fall. And that gave me strength. Yeah, and actually, that dream was my dad, my biological father, had died,
Mm-hmm.
and whenever I hear my name called and no one's there, I know there's a message coming. But in this time in the dream, I turned around. It was my biological father that was deceased, and I was like, "Daddy!" I was a daddy's girl, and I
Sure.
ran up, and I just was crying so hard I was weak, and he caught me from under my arms and just picked me up and said, "I'm not going to let you fall. You got
Mm.
this." And then I woke up out of the dream from that. It's just those. So you have to tap into your spiritual self, because again, like I said, Daddy didn't let me fall.
That'll preach. For all you
Hmm.
preachers out there go your Sunday topic. Daddy didn't let me fall. I want somebody to look at your neighbor tonight, and I want you to tell them, my daddy didn't let me fall. Huh. Okay, I'm messing with you. I'm just so amazed with this journey. Again, I had to have you back tonight to answer some questions, and I guess I want to leave you to tell us a little bit about how you feel now and what recovery ideas would you suggest after a long battle?
Number one, to thine own self, be true.
Mm.
No one knows this journey like you. Don't let anyone put more on you. Don't let anyone tell you how you should be grieving because we're all different people. Our stories are all different. You know, two is still staying hold to God. That's first and foremost. Um, I'm in therapy because in the midst of me walking my husband through this journey, I lost 25 people in a 5-year period of time, All three of
Mm,
my parents was in that number. My
mm.
godmother, my play auntie out here, my first cousin, my social media director. That's why I dropped my YouTube for a minute. Um, all these people that were significant in my life had died while escorting Patrick through his journey. So I had to have a strong prayer life. Therapy. I was just telling someone, there's nothing wrong with therapy. Nothing. I've been looking for since 2019 for a therapist. I finally found one that understands where I'm at. She plays, we bounce off of each other in my therapy sessions.
I want to ask you how important is finding that connection. When you say it took you a while, does that mean that it took you a while to find someone that you meshed with? Did you have a couple that you went through, a few that you went through? Because I don't want people to miss out on opportunities, of getting help or reaching out for help, because of the stigma that that our community goes through. We're always okay.
Right.
All is well.
Hmm.
Blessed and highly favored, and you crying in your pillow every night.
Right. Exactly.
And so, how important is the therapy part in the role of healing right now, Carla?
Right now, very important.
Okay.
Like I said, it took me since 2019 to find this therapist. I've gone through probably about five therapists. And
Mm-hmm.
I would drop the ball in between time because I would be frustrated because they really were not capable to give me any tools.
Mm.
And like I said before, everyone that has passed on, each one of them, they left me with amazing tools. So
Sure.
that's another part of my strength. So it's really important to have people around you that can feed you spiritually, mentally, and physically. I don't have gossip around me. I don't watch the news before I go to bed. I keep positive stuff. And now in my healing, I thought
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go back to work and I just can't, and I'm being true to myself,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm doing very, very little. It's not like I'm not where I do need to eat, but
Right.
I, it, I can't go back to doing work the way I was doing 6 to 10 heads a day.
Right.
Just no way that I can do that where I am. Unfortunately, I thought I was going to go into self-care coaching, and I realized it's not the time for that for me because I am grieving and I don't have the patience at this moment to escort somebody through their trauma when
Absolutely.
they're not ready to do the work. That's the frustrating part for me, and I don't have the patience to coach you through that. So,
You're still
uh,
putting the pieces of life back together in your life.
exactly,
I think
exactly.
that's very honorable to admit that, Carla.
Mhm.
That's very honorable to say, hey, man, I have been through a series of traumatic experiences. And I don't know. I've never felt that it was healthy for broken people to try to fix broken people,
Exactly.
right? And no shade or to the state to the level of where you are now, but just again, very admirable for you to admit that this is the place that I'm in. You know, I'm getting better. I'm looking forward to getting better, stronger. Um, but there's some things that there's some areas that still need recovery and rehab,
Mhm.
and so you did that part of resetting it. And so now you're moving in to the rehab of your recovery. I'm just, such at awe with this story, Carla. Um, and I wanted everybody to know too, not to put any more on your plate, Carla, but if you want to lose some weight or eat healthy, think healthy, feel healthy. Carla has some amazing recipes and ways to think better about your food choices. I definitely need to think better about some of my food choices. I mean, I inherited this. I was gonna say something, but there might be some elders on here, and I want to keep it. Even I know it says no blankets. I inherited this thyroid. You know what I'm saying, and I didn't blew up and don't want to go nowhere really. Just lethargic, GPA. Uh, Oh, is Yolanda Carnley, my cousin? What's up, Cuddy? How you doing, baby girl? She asked you, Carla, is this illness hereditary? What age does dementia start to affect the brain? You want to talk about that?
Um, it's getting you a lot younger, a lot younger. Yes, there are studies shows that it can be hereditary, and that's how do I say this? That's what the medical world is saying. I tend to lean more towards the holistic world,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm following a couple of people that are sharing and teaching us as a culture how to better take care of our health. Um, uh, I would like to share that more later as I'm learning it. But it's a couple of like Dr. Bobby Price. Love, love, love him on YouTube. I follow him. He
Mm-hmm.
talks about replenishing the brain cells, but I would imagine you would, if would you feel it, we just need to do that, work on that period every day. I'm doing it. I'm now, I'll be starting the beginning of May doing the 30-day challenge with his community. And it's a
Carla, do
clear.
you know do you know if marijuana contributes to dementia?
Anything that alters the brain in any
Mm-hmm.
kind of way could contribute. It's my understanding anything like any antihistamines
Mm-hmm.
that is drying out the membranes. So that can contribute to it. Anything that alters your state. So if you were, really partying hard back in the day and doing any type of hallucinogenic herbs,
Mm-hmm.
that could play over anything that alters it. Dehydration alters the brain. So that
Mm-hmm.
can lead to it. There's so many things that can contribute to that.
Yeah, because I know weed. You smoking marijuana is funny, happy, horny, hungry. You know, yeah. So, for all of you marijuana, grass smokers, you might want to consider scaling back on your cannabis intake, uh, especially if you're 60 or plus. So, to answer to your question, here are some early warning signs, Yolanda. Forgetting things you just learned, right? Problems managing money. These are the early signs. Getting lost in familiar places, confusion about the time and day, forgetting common words, constantly losing things. Can't find my glasses, my keys. I can't find my paperwork. I just put the pencil down right there. Um, a lack of interest in reading, skipping social gatherings, and changes in personality. I tell you, Carla, the research in getting prepared for this discussion. Yeah, T T Car says that's a good way to describe marijuana effects. T, that's my little sis. So proud of her, Carla. She just graduated cum laude. She's a nurse. Yeah, she's going for
Congratulations.
masters and doctorate. Is that choice? Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, all of that, T, forgetting things, confusion about the time or day, all those could be associated with Marijuana, I wouldn't know. I, I wouldn't know. No, but
Sure.
yeah, Yolanda, that is those are the early warning signs. Let me just repeat those again. Forgetting things you just learned, problems managing money, getting lost in familiar places, confusion about the time in the day, forgetting common words, constantly losing things, a lack of interest in reading, skipping social gatherings, and changes in personality. So, if you know friends or have family members that are doing these things um, consistently, it might be a sign that, like Carla was talking about in the last interview, getting a diagnosis or just going to the doctor and getting it checked out. So
Mhm.
trying to stay ahead of it as much as possible.
Right.
Carla, do you have any parting words or anything that you would like to tell the audience tonight? Tahita says so much good information needed to hear this. Shout out to Tahita Gomes, Carla. She says thank you so much. Um,
When you to interject on what you were talking about earlier, the little things. One of the things that Patrick is the little things. Just pay attention. Like when we first got married, I remember thinking, "Ooh, he sure has a bad memory."
mm-hmm,
I didn't think this. And then when he forgot the alarm code
mm-hmm,
it was the same code that he had since before we got married.
mm-hmm,
Little things. Pay attention to the small things. Don't take those things for granted and just pay attention and just say, hey, maybe we need to look in. Early diagnosis is huge. You can slow
mm.
it down. Had I thought that when we got married, I probably would have done what I could to get him to slow down and not try to do so much. And he might have still been here like 10, 15 years later
Mm-hmm,
because he
mm-hmm.
worked hard also. So, in my parting words, I would say, again, to thine own self be true. Take care of your health. Get your sleep. Get your rest. Um, Eat right. Take time to be alone. Um, get out in the sun, ground, and literally ground your feet, bare feet to the earth. Um, Drink plenty of water, preferably spring water that has the nutrients in it, the minerals in it.
So don't get purified.
No, you want just as long as it is bottled at the source. You
Who?
need a lot of times we drinking all this water and we're rinsing out all the minerals out of our body when we need the minerals. So drink plenty of water.
See, I can't keep up with it. Drink water, not mineral water, spring water, sulfur water, at carbonated water. Don't drink the water. Drink it slow. Drink it at 5. Drink a gallon. Don't drink so much. Carl, I don't even know. I'm just gonna be a big
And I
girl.
hear you. I have an alkaline machine, and I'm not giving up my alkaline. So I bought minerals to put in it because I do drink a lot of water. So and since I've been putting minerals in it between that and my grounding mat that I have literally on my bed, so I'm guaranteed to ground a minimum of 7-8 hours a night. I sleep
Mm.
on the, and if you want information, I can give you that to send out to. But grounding is vital for replenishing your sleep in your brain cells.
I heard a lot about grounding. I did go outside. It was crazy how my body did respond to the sunlight, to the earth, to the
Mhm.
peace. Um, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit. Maybe we'll have you back again to talk about the holistic side of you.
Okay.
Um, Carla, it's been amazing having you again. Um, we
Thank
um,
you.
we are cheering for you. We are applauding you. You have become our hero um, in this battle that we are facing, trying to manage the care of our family members with dementia, Lewy body dementia in your case, and just the amazing way that God brought you through. Just, shout out to Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? The Most High. He is amazing. He is able to do the exceedingly, the abundantly, and above anything we could ever ask or imagine. He's just that guy. I love him so much for the time that he's given us tonight for you to share this information, to engage our audience, and to just lace everybody's shoestrings, sis. You are, phenomenal, and I love you dearly. With
And
that
Cheryl,
being said, family. Oh, yes.
I want to say to you, Cheryl, thank you for what you're doing.
Oh,
You're getting messages out that our community needs to hear. I'm really proud of you. I had told you before, you have found your niche, and
oh,
keep
thank you,
doing
big
it.
sis.
And
Thank
just
you.
thank you for inviting me on to share my story. Like I said, I'm an open book. I'm available for speaking engagements. You can reach me. Cheryl will have that in the notes. Yeah, and all I can say is don't forget to lean on the Most High, and don't forget to laugh because it's important.
Thank you for all the diamonds that you dropped tonight, Carla. We love you. God continue to bless you. Well, you heard it right here. No Blankets podcast with your host, C. West. We had our special guest tonight with the Q&A, Miss Carla Prayer. You know me. When you step into the room, please be the amazing. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and we out.